Luke Cage got a new suit, and it's Luke Cage, Gang War, Issue 1. Luke Cage is at City Hall, right, trying to talk about the anti-vigilante rule. He says, in short, it's over 75% armed robbery and violent crimes have seen the highest uptick. Throughout the 5 boroughs, custom gangs have targeted banks and shit. As you see, these motherfuckers up are fucking up shit. He says, the mayor of New York, I'm committed to creating a safe city in which our citizens can thrive. He said he's going to be hiring police officers to install surveillance cameras in the hardest hit neighborhoods and requesting funding for a lighter, leaner Thunderbolts program. With these initiatives, crime should drop significantly in the days and weeks to come. Now he started taking questions. One of them asked, do you think the police can stand a chance against costume criminals wielding high-tech weaponry? He said, yeah, I'm confident they'll be able to stand tall against any threat. That's when Randy's dad popped up, right? He's like, but with your fucking history as a crime fighter, surely you know it's not enough. Jonah was there. He was like, Robbie saying this charade you've assembled Cage in the crook of cow dung. You're sending lambs to slaughter in the hope of challenging the anti-vigilante act. Get the public scared out of their wits so you and your costume buds can get back to knocking heads and destroying the city. Luke was like, as mayor of this city, I intend to do things by the book. The Anti-Vigilante Act is law and will be respected as such. Jonah Jameson was like hogwash. He says Jameson wasn't straying too far from the truth. If being mayor gave me the power to kill the Anti-Vigilante Act, I would, but it doesn't. Wilson Fisk left a turd in my stew with the Anti-Vigilante Act. Mine is supers to intervene. Every third-rate baddie in New York is looking to move into the bigger leagues. But sitting on my ass ain't gonna do a damn thing to fix this city. I gotta hit the streets. He go out, they talking about some, yeah, if you leave the building, we'll have to accompany. He's like, I'm just finna go take a leak. So he jumps out the fucking window, right, and he goes down there. Goes through the alleys, and he goes to Harlem to meet up with Danny Rad, the old Iron Fist. Back in Iron Fist Heart of the Dragon, he lost his power of the Iron Fist. But he's still a black belt. That's where he was like, man, it's hard to think straight with the weight of your city on your shoulders. He's like, could use some heroes for hire, huh? He's like, damn sure I could. That's when this girl was like, hey, you need to look at what's on the TV. It was somebody trying to break into this bank and shit. Some costume robbers armed with high-tech weaponry. So Luke Cage is like, I gotta get over there. He jumps into this cab. Motherfuckers popping at the police. Boom! Luke Cage pop up. They's like, what the hell? Mayor Cage? Get me up to speed, Sergeant. Bank heist. We don't have the firepower to stop him. Boom! Everybody move! He smashed the damn car in pieces. They just finna start shooting at him. He's like, no! He was like, ah! Those aren't regular bullets. As his ass take his shirt off. Time to end this once and for all. Game's over, gentlemen. Time to put away your toys and go to jail. Mayor Cage! I can't let you get involved, sir, as one of the cops pointed a gun at him. So you shoot me if I stop them after they almost took out your fellow officers? The Anti-Vigilante Act states that civilians cannot get involved in crime-related matters. So if you take action, I'll have to arrest you. Ain't this a bitch, as he see all these motherfuckers moving off. Maybe next time you can call in the Thunderbolts or Agent Guile and the Cape Killers. Yeah, next time as he leaves. Meet up with Danny later. He was like, this little thing hurt you? He said, it penetrated my skin. He said, surprised it didn't. He said, you do remember who you talking to, right? He said, it's coated with adamantium alloy. Those guys were mercenaries at best. Where'd they get adamantium? Probably the same place they get the fancy arms. All you got to do now is find out where that is, as Luke Cage already kind of knew. He goes over to Queens and meet up with the doctor scientist dude that gave him his powers while he was in jail. He figured that his ass is the one that made him. He was like, if this was 20 years ago and Rikers had a lesser rehabilitation program, I might be looking at you. The damn scientist is like, appreciate the compliment, but I left the world of crime to the youngsters. He said, praise to the Most High, but all this high-tech weaponry's got to be coming from somewhere. This vigilante thing has opened the door to a lot of dirty business. Arms are flowing into the city like river, but this bullet, someone crafted this. Luke Cage get a damn phone call about the city, parks and shit. And dude was like, anyone with this talent doesn't just sell their wares to just anybody. They consider commoners uncalled. Who had that type of skills? He says, Alistair Smith. The cat with the spider slayers thought he was dead. You all people know that shouldn't stop folks like you, right? Bro ass came back to life. Smith came back to life in the clone conspiracy. So bro ended up finding out where these motherfucking people had these guards and shit at, right? They in this warehouse. So Luke was like, all right, I got to get back to work. He was like, honestly, not dressed like that. He said, you know me better than that. And you know better than that leave without a proper love offering. He pays him for his material for his suit. And he goes to talk to this lady right here, this black lady. She was the one that's finna make him his new suit. So he asked her for her Wi-Fi password so he can work on his work while she up there making his suit. She was like, sure. It's real fix 2026, all lowercase. He was like, thanks. 2 hours later, we see him come out with his new suit. He said, how do I look? She said, you look like you're ready to whoop a little tail. Enough to change your Wi-Fi password? Let's see how this all shakes out. So he goes to Hunts Point, South Bronx, over to that warehouse, right? He goes up in there, breaks into there, goes down the stairs trying to be all quiet, but he ended up meeting up with these motherfuckers. Bah, 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 bah. They start shooting at him. He said this might work on the rank and file. But brother, ain't that as he throw dude ass at the rest of them. Guess that's the cavalry as these motherfucking damn drones came in and started shooting at him too. Just know y'all gonna need a hell of a lot more than that as he throw fucking dude through the damn drone. But they was fucking his ass up. He was like, well, maybe not. Need to find an exit or make one. Boom, boom, boom. He breaks through the wall. Come on, fellas. Let's take this outside. Had enough? I'll be honest. I might not be able to take all y'all on, but I can really mess up a few of you. Or not, as you see, their ass ain't even worried about him no more. So a costume cat bust in and none of y'all wondering who he is or what he wanted. Something ain't right here as he go back in there. My bad, he leaves. Then we see Smith. We find out that this motherfucker has engineered these damn things. And he said this task dwarfs that which him and his father desired. New York City, the biggest city with the greatest dreams. With little to no effort, I'm bringing it to his knees. I wish my father were here to see that Spider-Man was but one of a host of problems that are no more. This is truly the best of times as he's watching Luke Cage ass go to Hell Kitchen. The Cloak and Dagger's up there fighting these things, right? They try shooting a dagger, but he opened his cloak up. That shit ain't do shit. So he's like, I can better control your vices as he come up behind these two dudes. Welcome to the chaos that lives within the dark force as he absorbed him to his cloak. No fear as he was sitting there looking at him and he spit him back out. He's like, something not right. She was like, what do you mean? In the darkness, I felt no fear within them. How can that be as she throws some daggers at their ass? Because to have fear, one must have a soul. These men are what they seem to be. Luke Cage pops up. He's like, they started shooting at him. He's like, oh, they look like the real thing. But they move like the real thing. But when you get down to it and take a peek under the head as he grabbed two of their ass, you'll find an empty shell. It smashes their heads. This is the handiwork of Alistair Smith. They're leaving. Daddy's calling them home. As much as I appreciate the insight, how do we know you aren't a part of the problem as well? I'm a politician, so I couldn't understand if trust isn't the first thing that comes to mind as he take his mask off. It's like, Luke Cage, I never known you to wear a costume. The moment requires me to color between the lines. He's like, understandable. Why you come here, though? There's crime all over New York City. I'm starting a new team to battle crime in the city. You two are my first recruits. This is the greatest city in the world. I will not allow it to fall into chaos. New York has met challenges before and survived each and every one of them. It won't be easy, but we must stand together. We're in, as they say. They finally joined his team. He says, thank you. Bring, bring. It's like your phone ringing. He's like, let me enjoy the moment because wherever this is, I know it ain't good. And this shit gonna be continued. Next month, the next issue after this is Spider-Woman as she's running around New York City trying to look for her son.